Hey loves, my name is Sakle. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm here to show you guys all my tips and tricks of how I was able to make $1,000 a week. Yes, I said it, $1,000 a week doing Shipt, all while working a full-time job and going to school. Stay tuned. Okay, first let's start off by talking about what is Shipt. Shipt is a delivery service app that is owned by Target. The customers can go in, order their deliveries, and get them to their front door, and the drivers are able to make money by completing those deliveries. So basically, it is easy to apply. All you need to do is go into the app, click on apply, and within 1 to 2 weeks, you'll hear back from them and they say you got accepted and you got the job. There's no interview process, there's nothing like that you need to do. You automatically can start working as long as you got a car. Some of the other apps where you have to accept and go right away. So that's what I personally like about Shipt. So my insider hustle strategy of how I was able to make $1,000 a week with Shipt is I would literally set up my schedule. You have to set up your schedule for this to work. So think about the busy times of the day: mornings, evenings, weekends, right? So basically, I would make sure and reserve mornings the night before or the day before, because on Shipt you're allowed to do that also. Or I would get up really early in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning, and reserve my batches for the day. Doing this, I was able to set up my days and be able to work, go to school, and structure my schedule. It's all about structuring your schedule. So in the Shipt app, when you're going to accept blocks, what Shipt would do is they would send you to one Target in one city and have you deliver those grocery items to a house in another city. They did this pretty often in the app. So what I would do is I would shop for multiple people at the same Target and then deliver all the groceries afterwards. So say I pick up one Target in one city that's going to a house in another city. I will also pick up a Target in a different city that's going to a house near the house that I'm delivering to in the first Target. That way I'm able to shop for two people at once at two different Targets. Target doesn't know what Shipt store that Shipt is sending you to. All they know is that the items are prepaid, so they can just easily just scan your phone and you'll go on your merry way after done shopping. So if you pick up two different Target orders from two different cities and then deliver it, you're cutting your time in half. You're able to basically deliver to two people within the hour and shop for them at the same time. This is how I was able to pick up multiple Targets within 2 hours. Sometimes I would complete 4 batches within 2 hours. What Shipt would do is they would have a Target in one city, knowing damn well that there's a Target right down the street from the house that they're delivering to. I don't know why they do this, but they do it. So no, I'm not going to go to this Target that's 30 minutes away from this person's house, but I can easily just go to the Target in their city and be done my batch within a half hour. You know, time is of the essence. If you have a full-time job and you're going to school, this is the best way to do Shipt. You have to make it work for you. You can't be wasting time and money and gas, especially when gas is so expensive these days. So you have to make it work for you. And that's what I did. I played the system. So like I said, when you're shopping for Shipt, Target does not know what Target you're at. Shipt does not know what Target you're at. You can shop at any Target for this person's items. I remember one time they were sending me to a Target in downtown Boston. Where there's no parking, it's extra busy. I believe the Target is downstairs, so it required me to bring those bags upstairs I would probably have to park all the way in Boston Common and walk all the way downtown in order for me to have my car parked in a safe space so it doesn't get towed or ticketed, and then have to carry all those groceries. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not walking across that park. I'm not doing that with all those bags. So, and then the person lives in Somerville. No, there is about 4 different Targets around that person's house that I can go to that have parking and is not busy. So that's what I do. I would go to the Target right there in Somerville, make sure that that Target sells the groceries or the shirt or the pants or the household item or the electronic that the person wants. I would go to that Target, buy those items, either scan my card if it's not prepaid, or have the cashier person scan my phone if it is prepaid, and then leave and bring it to the person's house within 5-10 minutes. This is how I was able to do multiple Targets at once. My third tip is don't settle for small pay. Do not settle for small pay. If Shipt is sending you $10, $12 to go shop at a Target for 50 items and then bring it to somebody's house, which is like a half hour away, no, do not accept that batch. Don't accept that order. Don't settle yourself. We're better than that. We're here to make money. We're not here to work for free. At that point, Shipt is making money off of you. You ain't making money off of Shipt. We're not going to be accepting $10, $12 batches. In order for me to make $1,000 a week doing Shipt, I was accepting $20, $30 batches. So I would accept about 3 batches in the morning, 3 batches at night. So I was making about $120 a day. Just about. And while having a full-time job. We're not accepting $10, $12 batches. Because you know what's going to happen? If you accept those $10, $12 batches, Shipt is going to keep sending you $10, $12 batches. Because they know you cheap. And they know you settle for anything. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to accept $20, $30 batches. Because that's what we worth. We worth $20, $30 batches. Because gas is expensive. Gas ain't $10, $12. Gas is $20, $30, $40, $50. If you want to see your money rack up, you're going to accept them $20, $30 batches. Don't mess up the algorithm and have Shipt know that you're a cheap person and they're going to keep sending you cheap batches. Nope, we're not doing that. By doing this method, I was able to make $100 a day. So if you think about $100 a day, and this is not including tips, $100 a day before the weekend, I'm at, with tips, $600-$700. Now that ain't bad. $600-$700, and that's not including working full-time job. So if you think that the busy times are Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and I made $600-$700 for the week before Friday night even comes, how much you think we're making on the weekend? We're gonna reach that $1,000 goal on the weekend because those are the busiest times, and they pay them more, and Shipt is desperate to get drivers, so they pay the drivers more. So I would do about 3 or 4 batches on Saturday morning, and then 3 or 4 batches on Sunday morning, and then be done. So I would get up early. I would get up about 7 a.m. I would set my alarm and get up about 7 a.m., complete those batches, and then I'm back home about 12, 1 o'clock. I still have the full day to relax, put my feet up, watch a movie, go out, go to an event, enjoy my weekend. On Sunday, the same thing. I would get up about 7 o'clock in the morning, be back home about 1, 2 o'clock, and I have the rest of the day to relax, watch Patriots game, whatever. And if you think about it, if you have plans on the weekend anyways, those plans don't usually start until 12, 1 o'clock anyways. So you're not missing anything. Go out and hustle. Go make that money. Times is tough out there. We need to work. We need to we need to decide our own salary of how much we're gonna make. Don't let these jobs tell you how much you're gonna make a year. No, I'm gonna tell you how much I'm gonna make a year. My job offers me 50 grand and I wanna make 70 grand. Okay, thank you for that 50 grand, but don't think I'm gonna commit all my time and all my time to you. I'm not. I'm gonna go and find another job to make the salary that I want because I decide my own salary. So with the weekend bringing in a good $300 for those 2 days, probably without tips, you're good. Shipt tips really good. Shipt customers are on a whole nother level. They ain't like Instacart customers. Shipt customers are more, I would say, Shipt customers are more mature in a sense, upper class. I've delivered to mansions. I didn't do that with Shipt. I didn't do that with Instacart. I didn't deliver to no mansions with Instacart. I've delivered to a lot of nice ass houses in Boston. With Instacart, I delivered to dorm rooms. I delivered to college students who would change their tips before the 24-hour limit is up, and then I would walk home with. But I'm gonna do Instacart in another video because I have my beef with Instacart. So I'm gonna save that for another video. Yeah, we're gonna do a separate video just for Instacart. Don't get me started on Instacart. But Shipt customers pay very good with their tips, and I'm gonna show you all my tips and tricks of how to get more tips. I was getting $30-$40 in tips. The Shipt payment was only about $20, and then I would get about $30-$40 in tips. On top of that, I'm like, well, damn, Shipt didn't pay me that much, so the tips was great. All right, here are the tips to make extra tips with Shipt. Step number 1: communicate, communicate, communicate. You must communicate with the customer, even when you're being ignored. I give the customer about 5-10 minutes to reply to me before I make my own decision about their order. If there is an item that is not in stock, you must communicate it with the customer. Do not just automatically substitute that item. The customer will be upset. So say, for example, the customer wanted tomatoes, but they want a certain type of tomatoes because there's all different types of tomatoes. There's plum tomatoes, there's tomatoes on the vine, there's medley tomatoes, there's what are all those tomatoes called? Grape tomatoes. I mean, there's so many different tomatoes. To me, tomatoes is tomatoes, but to the customer, tomatoes is not tomatoes. You better get that customer the right type of tomatoes, or that customer will be upset. So say the customer wants plum tomatoes. There's no more plum tomatoes. You better communicate with that customer and say, hey, I'm in the store, I'm shopping for your order. There's no more plum tomatoes. Would you like tomatoes on the vine instead? Wait for their reply. If they don't reply within 5 to 10 minutes, you better refund those tomatoes. Take it from me. You better refund those tomatoes. Customers feel strongly about their groceries. They feel very strongly about their groceries. If you go and you pick tomatoes on the vine when the person wanted plum tomatoes, they are not going to tip you well. They will not. You better communicate with that customer and let them know that there's no more tomatoes on the vine. Do you want another type of tomatoes? Because this just shows that you care. You want to show the customers that you care. Like be friendly with the customers in the text. Don't just be all formal and professional. Send them an emoji. Send them a little GIF. Like make it seem like you ain't a robot on the other end of that phone. Be a human. Customers love that. Step number 2: when picking up multiple orders, you must organize your cart. Do not confuse yourself. Do not get the items mixed up. This will result in no tips as well. Organize, organize, organize. If you're like me, where you pick up if you're like me, where you pick up 4 batches at the same time, what you would do is go to that one Target. We ain't going to 4 different Targets. Go to one Target that sells everything for them 4 different houses, and organize your cart. Get the big carts. Don't get the little ones. We're getting the big carts. You're gonna put customer A where the baby goes, the little seat where the baby goes at the top. You can put customer B underneath the child seat. You're going to put customer C on the far part of the cart. You know how the cart's pretty big. The far part, you can put customer C and put customer D underneath the cart. This is the only way you're going to organize your cart. There is no other way. So that way, when you go up to the cashier and they're ready to scan your phone for the 4 different items, they can easily see item A, okay, is there item B, item C, and item D. You're not going to be standing at the cash register for 45 minutes trying to organize which item is for which person when you're looking at the digital receipt. We're not going to do that. My next tip is to get bigger tips, decent, fresh items only. I repeat, decent, fresh items only. Do not find out the hard way like I did. If the person wants grapes and there's only 1 carton of grapes left, the person wants green grapes and there's 1 carton of green grapes left, and those grapes are spoiled and rotten and dripping and smush, do not get that customer them grapes. That customer does not need them grapes. They do not need them grapes in their fridge leaking all over the place, all over their other food. Ask the customer if they would like another type of grapes. If they don't respond to you, you better refund them grapes. Refund them grapes. It's the best thing to do. When in doubt, refund. You can give the customer back their money, then they can go and put that order in for them grapes that they like at another time, and then they'll have the grapes that they like. Do not bring them spoiled, smushed, crushed grapes to that person's house. You know what they could do is they could contact Shipt and be like, listen, I never got my grapes. I want my money back. You know, my Shipt driver was eating them grapes on their way to my house probably because I didn't receive no grapes, and you have no proof to show that you went and bought those grapes and brought them to that customer's house. The customer will accuse you of taking their groceries if you bring a grocery like that to their house that they don't approve of, that they're going to throw anyways. At that point, you just wasted the customer's money. Do not get them grapes. Substitute or refund. Another example. It don't have to be fresh fruits and vegetables. You could be in the freezer section and the person wants frozen pizza. If there's a crushed frozen pizza box, do not get that one. Get the next one down. You know, be courteous, be nice. You know, the customer don't want no crushed box in their freezer like that. It's all about the appearance, you know? Even if that crushed box didn't mess up the pizza on the inside, still, the customers don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. They want to see that you took time to go shopping for their items. They want to see that, you know, that you care about them. You know, you don't really care about them, but you know what I mean. You care about the items. You care about getting the correct things for that customer. They don't want to see crushed things. They don't want to see leaky things. They don't want to see spoiled things. They don't want to see bruised vegetables or fruits. They don't want to see any of that. You know, just it takes 2 seconds to just get the item behind the first item in the store if it's messed up. Just do that, you know? That will be the best way you can get the right tips, especially when it comes to fruit and vegetables. Because we all know those things get spoiled easily and they get bruised easily. So get the nice looking ones. Help the customer out. Act like you're shopping for yourself. When in doubt, refund. Refund, refund, refund. Always refund. Give the customer back their money. If they ain't communicating with you, or if you're unsure about this item or that item, give the customer back their money. That's the best thing that you could do, is give someone back their money. People can't return fruits. People can't return vegetables. They can't return food to the store. It's illegal. You can't do that. So just give them back their money. They can go and they can purchase the fruit and vegetable that they want to purchase when it becomes back in stock. Okay, my last tip for making the most in tips is go the extra mile. What does that mean? Go the extra mile. That means that go above and beyond for your customer. You know, customers appreciate that. You could become a preferred shopper when you show that you care. A customer can request you to be their preferred shopper. I was somebody's preferred shopper. It feels good to be a preferred shopper. You get notified first. when that customer ever puts in an order in the future, especially if that customer pays well in tips, you want to be that person's preferred shopper. But always go the extra mile. So let me give you an example. You driving up to the customer's house, before you even get off the exit, before you turn down the street, you're gonna be using your GPS anyway, so you know when the customer's house is coming up. But before you even turn down that street, make sure you turn down your music. All right, turn down your music a little bit. If you're a music bumper like me, from soca, reggae, hip hop, whatever, just turn it down a little, right? You don't want that customer's neighbors, to be going up to them and saying, "Oh, you always have these delivery drivers blasting their music coming down the street, blah blah blah." But they don't want to hear that from their neighbors, and they ain't gonna tip you well if you pull up to their house like you about to go to a block party or something. They're not gonna tip you well like you about to go to the club. They ain't gonna tip you well. Turn down that music a little bit, When you turn down that customer's street, drive slow. Drive the speed limit. There's kids playing in the street. You got the kids at play sign. Watch the little bouncy ball coming out into the street. Watch the little dogs running out into the street. Watch for all that. Drive the speed limit. I'm a heavy footer, so I make sure drive the speed limit when I come out to a customer's house. They appreciate that. They don't want you screeching down the street, going 80 miles an hour to their house. Drive the speed limit. Watch out for the kids. Watch out for the dogs. Don't drive like you're doing a drive-by. You don't want to be creeping. People don't like people creeping up to their houses like that. Just drive the speed limit. When you get to the customer's house, pull over. This is when presentation's everything. People got wise cams. They got ring cams on their front porches and front steps. They're watching your every move. You come to someone's house, they're watching your every move nowadays. So, have a smile on your face. Make sure you look decent. Make sure you got decent clothes. You don't got to dress up or anything. But make sure your clothes look nice. Make sure there's no holes in your shoes or your pants or anything like that. Drive up nicely, park your car, turn off the engine, so they're not breathing in them fumes in the neighborhood. Turn off your engine. Take the bags out the car nicely. Walk up to the front. Jiggle your keys. Make sure there's no dog in that front yard so you don't get chased. You don't want to go viral. Don't get chased on no one's wise cam. Jiggle your keys. Open up the fence. Go and put down the bags nicely in a nice secure spot on their front steps. Where they can see it, where no one's gonna steal it. Blah blah blah. And then when you're leaving, make sure you close the fence. Close the fence behind you. These little things they watch. They could see your every move. Just close the fence behind you, get back in your car, send them a text saying, "Hey, I appreciated shopping for you today. I just wanted to let you know that I just delivered your order to your front steps. Have a great day, be safe, be healthy." Customers like that. Take the time. Don't just drop off and run. Take the time and send a little nice text like that. They like that. Even though they're already getting notification from Shipt that their order has been delivered or whatever, they still want to hear from you, especially if you guys formed a little relationship from talking, texting back and forth and, about their grocery items. They still want to hear from you. It's nice, And then drive off and you're all set and boom, look, you got paid. And then within a day or two, you're going to get a notification from Shipt saying that you got a $30, $40 tip from that customer. All those little steps that you could do, to get bigger tips. Customers like that. Tips is everything when it comes to Shipt. That's what I believe. That's how I made the most of my money. Tips. Don't pay attention to those promos. Those promotions are not... They'll do a promotion for a random store in a random city that you ain't nobody never heard of. And that city, that store never comes up in the Shipt app for you to accept it. They'll do like shop at this store 3 times. Well, this store don't even exist. What you mean shop at this store 3 times? They do this shit on purpose because they don't want people making money. They do this shit on purpose. Promotions. Don't pay attention to the promotions. Just be the best Shipt shopper you could be. Make that money, make them tips, and go home. All right, everyone. That's all I have for you today. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe, rate, and comment. And I will see you in my next video.